I made a mistake. Whew. So we don't have any axles underneath the Comanche, and we're gonna have to change that today. In the last video about the Comanche, we pull the axles out from under it and actually pull out some other axles from a Cherokee. Right here I have the front axle. It's a high pinion Dana 30. And then I've got a Chrysler 8 1/4 rear end on the ground right here. But before we can put them in, we need to make a couple changes to them. Specifically, well, they both need a lot of work. So right now I'm gonna be starting on this front axle here. Typically these C's are prone to bending and breaking. We're gonna change that. And while we're in there, we're also gonna be strengthening up this axle tube a little bit with a little bit of a truss. So I know the Dana 30 isn't the biggest axle in the world, but I've never broken one, so I've got high hopes for this one. We need to get this axle all cleaned up and get designing some pieces to add. See, pretty well clean. Most important thing are these C's. As you can see, it gets pretty thin right there. Pretty sure on my last axle I bent it. Anyway, I'm gonna get this spring and just kind of mock it into place, just like that. And then I can see the kind of gusset I can build. That'll be pretty easy. I'm gonna do some webbing across here, just cause to keep that all in order. We'll see. We probably won't get too crazy because it is just a Dana 30. So yeah, let's go get drawing. We've got it all on the program here. And we've got our plate. We're using 1/4 inch right there. I made a mistake. Whew. Okay, so I got the pieces cut out and cleaned up, and we just need to prep the metal for welding and weld them on. Isn't that a cute little axle truss? Goes right there, just like that. It might not keep it from breaking, but it will help it. And I've got axle shafts to snap off anyway, so these just need a bend on them right at that line, and then they're ready to go. Alright, so this right here is how I'm gonna bend them. One good whack. Right. Okay. A lot of a bend, that's better. One more. Alright, let's see how that looks. It's pretty dang good. Just need to do that a couple more times. I just want to get this out of the way. This is not what a built axle looks like. This is a Dana 30 that I'm putting a little bit of extra metal on. So, they're probably garbage. Then I've got all these bent and ready to weld on. Here we go. Everything's tacked on there. Now the reason I can't come over all the way to there is because the spring right to there. You can unwrap that. quite a bit beefier. Now that we got the axle truss on and the C-gussets welded on, we can probably paint it and it's good to go. While this axle is drying with the paint, I'm gonna get started on the back axle, and that's gonna need quite a bit of work. As you can see here, the biggest things are these leaf spring perches need to go, and these lower shock mounts also need to go because the Comanche mounts differently. So this is the back of a Cherokee. If you take a tape measure and go from the center of that to the center of this, you can see that it's pretty much 43 and a half. Sorry, that's upside down. If we go to the center of this leaf spring to this, it's 42. It's almost a 2-inch difference, and that's just too far. So we need to take these axle perches off and put new ones on. Just gonna get the torch out and get cutting. All right. I got those brackets cut off and I got everything ground down and painted actually. So tomorrow we'll have to cut out new leaf spring perches because I think I destroyed the old ones. I wasn't planning on reusing them anyway. I'll be back in the morning. All right. So I'm back working on the Comanche axles, and we got the front axle done last night and the rear axle cleaned up and painted. Went ahead and drew out new axle perches and cut them out and bent them. So they'll just go right on here like so. We just need to slide this axle under and then get it rotated up properly. And yeah. The strap holding them all together, kind of, just so it doesn't roll off my jack. Yeah, so I'm pretty much trying to center the axle and set up my pinion angle so I know where those brackets need to be welded on. All right, so I've got these axle perches set and the pinion where I want it. So I'll do the other side and then we'll drop the axle and slide it out so that we can weld it up properly. All right, got those spring perches welded on, just like that. Well, getting the axle brace on and getting these spring perches where they need to go, it's been fun. She got the back end cleaned up quite a bit right here. So, calculated with my new rear axle perches and with flipping it and everything, it's gonna be about 6 inches of lift in the rear, whereas the front is only 4, so we're gonna have to figure something out. But yeah, it's gonna be fun installing. And as always, thanks for watching.